Okay. So the professional development is how you can bridge the gaps in phonics research and strategies and more. The speaker is Natalie Sanders. I know you know me. Okay. Okay, so overview of the session is going to be an introduction and then the purpose and the reason behind the professional development, understanding the challenges of the data, and the data overview of using the 6 syllable types and why we go that extra step in the 6 syllable types, and not just breaking it down with the syllable boards, but also saying like, okay, what kind of syllable type is it? And then modeling the decoding steps, which I'll do and then you guys will do as well, and utilizing Clovers to kind of latch on to their working memory, you know, and install it into their long-term memory. Engagement ideas and activities, which I know is something that we need. That's the overview of the session. A little bit about me, introduction, my schooling. I graduated with my bachelor's EC through 6th in 2022. I'm currently in my last semester of my master's with curriculum and instruction with a focus to become a reading specialist from Tarleton State University. I am in my 3rd year of teaching. My story is in school I was not very good at all the things, and my dyslexia is a huge drive of why I wanted to become an educator to help kids learn that just struggling is okay and we'll get through it. And it just makes a really hard worker. So I strive to aid kids in learning struggles. So school becomes achievable for them. Teaching emotional regulation is also one of my passions for academics by finding their strengths in their interests. So we have Hunter Vaughn. Hunter Vaughn loves dinosaurs. We read books about dinosaurs. Strength. Okay.
Vowel silent.
Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. It's built in. Okay.
Vowel silent E, R control, schwa, syllable types, trust,
Okay.
consonant.
LE. Okay. I want you to, you can just highlight just real quick the ones you do know so far this year. So we know that one, okay? Just did vowel teams. Silent E,
Because that's in my name.
okay?
We haven't done that.
We haven't done our controlled yet. And we have done schwa. And we have done closed. Okay, good job.
So we haven't done 3.
Okay. How can this help you remember the syllable types?
Because I can look at it and then I can just read it and I remember it.
Remember it? Can you think of the word clover and maybe go through when you're evaluating what kind we're talking about? Like what kind of word? Like if I give you a multisyllabic word and we need to decide if it's closed or VCE, can this help you?
Yeah.
Does this help you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, all right.
Okay, so that was a video of one of my students and his thoughts on Clovers and how it helps him remember. It's an acronym of all the syllable types and schwa. It does utilize the words that are already in Really Great Reading, so it's not anything, we don't have to reteach the wheel, we just add it in and extend it, and they understand how to decode multisyllabic words in an extension, so they can take this understanding and remember that acronym and be like, okay, that's closed. What is closed and what's the rule for closed, and so on and so forth. Similar to like PIMDAS and stuff like that. So that's the purpose. It's to help students' understanding of the syllable types. The rationale behind it is that within our grade level, extending that knowledge helps them with more opportunities for tier 1 and tier 2 practice. So not only can we do it with them, but they can do it by themselves. They can, on like the STAR test, take that word with their expo marker and then decode it the way we're supposed to, and then extend it if they really don't understand that word, because we can't help them. By the point they get up there, they can't be helped at they're not, especially for our like tier 2 students that don't get to tier 3, that's an intervention that's gonna help them the most, because they don't get those RBD and take flight and stuff like that. This is their step version. Our learning targets are: teachers will understand the importance of the 6 syllable types and how they improve students' decoding and encoding. Teachers will be able to understand how to teach students to identify the 6 syllable types in the schwa within the word, displaying decoding skills using syllabication. Teachers will be given different strategies and classroom practices they can use in tier 1 and 2 that increase the application and decoding of words using 6 syllable types. Gotta do a learning target. Okay, so questions that need asking. These are things that I asked myself within my first and second year of teaching 3rd graders that still didn't know how to decode multisyllabic words on their own. Really Great Reading has many amazing qualities, but it is also a scripted curriculum and sometimes can be not very engaging. Especially the videos and how they want you to say it. It's very specific and repetitive, and so we have to boost their engagement. What I have noticed is what can we use to help them remember, and what are some quick activities we can do to help them understand decoding and understanding. What can having an acronym do to help students? But at this time, what are some problems that you might see using that scripted curriculum? Since y'all have used it for so long.
Yeah, you kind of get robotic with it sometimes when you're just reading. Today we're going to learn this, that, and the other thing in this lesson, and instead of it being, like you said, more engaging in it, so it can be hard when you're doing that scripted.
I've also found, like, the more that I do it, those videos that do pop up of the people talking, the kids at this point, they've like almost stopped listening to those people. They're so monotone and so just like this and that and that. So I don't even use those videos because it says, now work with your teacher. I just do it within the video. I pause the video, we do it, and then I like fast forward. And then if she has something to say or he or whatever it is, I'll let them say it just in case that's something that I missed that needs to be said.
Yeah.
But there isn't a whole lot of engagement, even when they're sitting there like doing the word source. They're just sitting there like talking out to you, and there isn't like doing
Yes.
the, you know, how do you retain it if you're not like doing it?
Doing it, yeah. And like, it takes a lot of prompting off script from the teacher to keep them engaged, especially with our kiddos that are very hands-on, for sure. Yeah. I see the same issues, and believe it or not, I've done a lot of research on Really Great Reading. And even for the past multiple years, there's articles posted that Really Great Reading for 2nd grade teachers is the ones that I've read about. They see the same things in different states, so not just Texas.
So the Clover is to help that,
Yes. It's to help memorization,
hands-on too.
and there is hands-on towards the end. Okay. Understanding the research. So I have 3 different research sources that will say why we should go the extra step in identifying the syllable types instead of just stopping at the syllables. So without a strategy for chunking larger words into manageable parts, students may look at longer words and simply resort to guessing. So similar for today, we took the word, it was historic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had a kid stop here, and they said what? History.
Yeah.
And then I got historical, but the word was historic. They stopped here because they knew how to decode it, and they did not continue on. And if they continued on by saying, okay, I know how to, you know, chunk that word and not give up into historic, it was easier for them to understand and fully decode and not just stop at, oh, it's history, and it's not. So that's a similar problem to what I even had today.
That happened today, yeah, where they read like the first part of the word and they guessed the rest of it. I think the word was artistic.
Yeah.
The word was artistic, and they were like, oh, it's art, or it's artsy, or it's,
Art,
and I was like, wait a minute, no.
Yes.
There's a whole other part of the word.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's really, really important for dyslexic learners to learn, because it's automatic. Like, they are quick to just be like, I know this part, it's this word,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
So slowing them down to really like break down that word and then also extend it and be like what kind of syllable type this was. And then the are controlled is right here. It is gonna be closed, and so they know. And then the repetition goes on, and it's good for spiraling too. So they don't forget what closed was, what open was, what VCE was, because VCE is hard. What a schwa was, because it's in every other word.
Mhm.
So
They just wanted to start yelling today too, when I was asking them, does it have a VCE? And they're like, yes, and I was like, look at it.
Where?
They just
Yeah.
wanted to say yes because they thought that whatever question I asked, whatever we were learning, was automatically gonna be in that word instead of actually looking at it. So
Yeah.
it is good, that's to help with the spiraling, that they put some of those other words in there too.
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Keeps
the word
reminding
sorts.
them.
And then I even with those word sorts like go a step further and just be like, okay, what is in this? Like it's home. They have home. I think that this week it was home, and I'm like, what is that? And they didn't remember. It's VCE.
Mhm.
And they're like, oh yeah, got it. But if you have them go the extra step, like I'm about to show you, they will find that VCE because we've done it for 12 weeks in a row.
Shoot, sometimes they find it before I do. I was like,
Yeah.
no, that doesn't have VCE. And then I look and I'm like, oh yeah, it sure does.
Right. Or it's a VCE, and sometimes I have my VCEs and they know it's a Schwab VCE, like native.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So studies show that if you give them the strategy of chunking longer words, instead of just guessing, or they skip it altogether, that they are familiar with the syllable type spelling and conversations helps the reader know what a vowel or a long or short or a diphthong are controlled, or whether the ending has been added. It makes them familiar with the syllable types, similar to what we said. It's good for repetition. This is coming from Reading Rockets. This one is an article that I found in these slides you'll get to, but it's within here too, within your handout. With explicit strategy and instruction, teacher guides students to gradually master a means for independent decoding of long words. Several strategies are used for this purpose, including chunking or word parts by looking at affixes, prefixes, so you can do the root word and then ing and so on. Syllabication is different from looking at the root word and looking at the affix, and then which is phonogram. Although these techniques are beneficial, another strategy is powerful for teaching students to tackle long words on their own is the syllable type instruction. Teaches students to attend to the pattern in the English language, and when mastered, enables them to decode lengthy words unaided. So setting them up to 3rd grade and they have that skill. This one's my favorite. They call it, which I think is so fun because I use okay, if it's a CVVC pattern, I say the cheat code is you always split between the doubles, right? This one that I found this article is students who are struggling to read may need direct teaching of word attacking strategies. It's the same strategy, they call it word attacking, which I think is so fun and engaging. One way to help students become independent readers is to teach syllable types and syllable division patterns, similar to what we're saying. So they use the word attacking, and I think with our group of students, they really get behind that. Okay. What are the 6 syllable types and why should we teach them? So on your handout, you'll see the information for the 6 syllable types. But I just want to kind of break it down and review and make sure that you guys are aware of them, but also bring you to the attention of Clovers, and I'll do that in a second, but we can use this to go over them. This is what I use and made for Clovers. I know that one of y'all has it, but
You can't see you, Natalie. Like, now, yeah, there you see.
Got it.
Bring it, yeah.
Okay, so
Like the thing can't see that, if you wanna bring it over, I don't know.
so that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll start with closed because that's where we are in the spiral, but closed would be closed by a syllable, right? A consonant. So the T, of course, is closing the A, which makes it short. Okay, and then if you go on through there is going to be open, and open means that it is in robot, not closed by that consonant. So it says its name. It's long. And then after that, you're gonna have VCE. And that is vowel consonant E. So like in the word cake or Jake, it's gonna say its name because they're working together. When it comes to vowel teams, we just went over that one, so clean. E and A are working together. When it comes to consonant LE for label or bubble, that's consonant, which is B and L and E. It's always gonna say ol, so you're gonna have that consonant next to it, and then LE. We haven't reached that yet, so that was good information.
Yeah.
And then we also have R control, which is gonna be like, which is our skill this week. So mark, that R is controlling the A. What I also think is fun about R control is that you can do the double O's, and it has power over those consonants. You can have more than one. You just grab one of those. And then we also have the schwa, which are the lazy sounds, which are my favorite. And you will see them everywhere. And they're everywhere. Schwas. They're everywhere.
Titus hates the schwa.
He's
like, everything has a schwa.
Except the
It does have the schwa.
It does.
I know, yes.
And the kids, they're getting so good. They're like, oh, it's at the beginning, so it's probably an A. And then
Yes.
they spelled other today. I was
Yes.
like, it's an O.
Yes. And so similar to what like our instruction was too, is when I'm telling them to spell it, I tell them, okay, that A right there is a schwa.
Yeah.
And they know in their head, I'm either gonna exercise it to it or And so if we have about, I would hide the A and I'd say, okay, is it about or about? And they would say about. And then pilot, they would do the same thing. And then you would hide the word because they're gonna decode it. Pilot. And then you would say, okay, is it, which one, exercise it, is it or pilot, not pilot. Okay, so those are the 6 syllable types. There is 7 technically if we include schwa, that's why it's clovers or clover.
Just the first one, that's on there, yes. So the game is roll and decode. So after we decode this one and break it down, then we will decode another one.
I can't say it. Wait, so we're decoding this one?
Okay, Jake, what are you doing first?
I am
Underlining your what?
vowels.
Okay, and then why did you put the I and the E?
Because it's a vowel consonant.
That's working together, good. Okay, what do you do next? Are you gonna tell me if they're long or short? Yeah, because I is working with the,
This
ah. Closed, good, okay. You can look at your clover to help you know which one's which. There you go. So when you pull them down and you go that extra step to tell them what kind of syllable type it is, yep. You're doing good. That is where you split. Good job.
This student's
Now pull your other one down.
Where to split.
And remember that your cheat code for VCE is normally that the consonant goes with it, right? Normally that your consonant goes with it. So where are you splitting it? In between the N and the what? Yeah. Okay, so look at your clover and see if you can identify the syllable type that you see. What kind of syllable type is it? Closed and then VCE. Okay, what do you think it is? On which one, the first or the second? The second? Okay, so write that. Okay? So for silent E, we're gonna do VCE, VCE. Good. Okay, and then what about IN? Okay, your vowel, is there a consonant next to it? Yes, so if there's a consonant next to it, it's what? Look at your clover, what can remind you? If there's a consonant next to it, it's what? Yes, good, so right, C, yep, good. Okay, next time give yourself a little room so you can write it underneath. So that's what those look like. Okay, what's our word?
Invite.
Invite, beautiful. You wanna roll again and go
I
again?
haven't really been doing that.
Go for it.
Okay, so this was a roll and decode, and you guys have that on your last page.
I was gonna ask you questions.
Yeah, it's your last page.
Okay.
This was generated through Canva. I just typed in roll and decode for 6 syllable types that disinclude schwa or include schwa. And they were able to generate it. You can also do this like for decodables and different things like that too. And we just go through and we highlight them, but they're very tactile. So they were into the roll and decode as a group in small group setting, but you can also do it in whole group because I tried that too and I was successful.
Okay, cool.
Yes. So that is a skill. And then this includes like, if you even want to go a step further, you can give them, and this is what I did on the whole group, is a sort of where do these words go. So in this case, they had the 6 syllable types, and invite would be in 2 different columns because it has closed and VCE. So they would write it twice.
So these words, like on this one that you have, from like what I'm looking at, they would be good for my on level needing to hone in the skill. And if I were to, I could go into Canva and I could do it for my GT kids that like these words are easy breeze read, and I could do multi-syllabic. Could I tell it to do that?
These are all words that are multisyllabic.
Or like
so,
multi-syllabic.
yeah,
I guess
you
is
could
what
do
I'm
like
saying.
for
Like
you know, hard
magnetic,
L's.
like
yeah,
give them the
hard
word
S.
magnet, like a
Yes,
big,
yes.
a larger word. I can do the same thing on Canva.
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
You could do that, and you can even, for your kiddos that are tier 3, lessen it to words with just digraphs
Gotcha.
in it,
Okay. Cool.
you know, or something like that, and do a read and roll. And then you can also go a step further and say read and roll with a decodable, and it'll write the decodable with the words in them. So it's really nice. Okay, so they were able to utilize Clovers to use as a reference and be able to decode that word and extend their knowledge. And if you saw, they were on all different levels. They were on all different levels. So Jake is a little more independent. Harper needs more thought, process, a little bit more time, and then my other Harper can do the steps independently and does not normally need a lot of help. So this worked for all different kinds of learners. Okay, so what I have followed is that each kiddo has in their folder the Clovers. You can also put it in their take-home folder if they need it for decoding, but they bring it to my small group or they use it in the lesson 3 and 4 of phonics, the really great reading lesson 3 and 4, when they're over here and they're like, oh, I need to decode the multisyllabic words. Typically, the multisyllabic words are really mainly going to be in lesson 4, but eventually as the units go on, it's going to be in lesson 3 and 4. Okay, our whole group anchor chart. This is, we make a new one each year and then we fill it in. And then we have, give each kiddo a take home for parents, and this is really helpful. I found both of these on Teacher Pay Teacher, which the scan code is on your paper for you to be able to get it. Clover versus Clovers, again, the S is for the schwa. Okay, another way that I do incorporate Clovers and knowing the schwa and the symbols is and I go into Webster's Dictionary for Kids, and I click on, they have like weekly selections of words, and I call a kid and I say, okay, come up here, and they click on a word, and in that dictionary word, they see the definition, and you'll also see like, not only is it broken down for them, but they can also decode it based on the pronunciation, because you'll see that there are schwas, and you'll see that they're using the long and short. You'll look at the A and it'll have like a little long, Macron or breathe, and it'll tell them. And then it also will be like, oh, that's the upside down E, that's the schwa, and they'll exercise it for ih and and I've had so much growth, because they were like, I know all those signs and all those symbols. And this is kind of exercising them being able to do it on their own. And I get they love it. So they chant. Word of the day.
So we've got 2 kids underlining, and then we've got a witch finger. Say hi, Jake, with your witch finger. Okay, and then he is going through, and they are working as a team to find vowel teams of A-I, A-Y, E-E, E-A, I-G-H-O-W-O-U. So, Jake, go ahead and start with reading out loud.
Kathy.
Okay.
And I leave the seat. Okay, wait.
Yeah. What do you see?
And
And seed.
oh, I did this.
Okay, let Harper underline too, so y'all take turns.
Now I'm gonna go to of the cheek. Wait, and
Oh, she sees one. What do we see?
E.
E. Good.
And make our way to the gate of the zoo. Wait. No, not yet. Wait. Oh, I see one.
Where? Oh, we haven't made it there yet. Okay.
You do 2, and then you do 2, and then I just keep
Love this one. Okay.
We finally get to see the. Okay, wait.
C.
I'm gonna change. What?
No, change fingers. Okay.
Chan peas.
Okay, break that.
Peas.
Chan.
Okay, so this is the interactive portion of using a really great reading decodable, and using Clover as well, and going through the decodable, because they're eventually going to get into the part where they're like, oh, I can't decode this word, and that is when you would use the Clovers in this syllabication, and they break it down. Right?
For the word chimpanzee.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So they will use that. However, what they're also doing for engagement is like theme-based. So we use like a little witch finger for Halloween, and we went through, and one person had the witch finger who was the reader, because they worked the hardest at that point. And then you have the kiddos that are decoding. That skill for the week was vowel teams, and so they were looking for vowel teams, and they were taking turns. So the roll and sort, that's what I have given y'all. And then we also have small group ideas. So small group, you can practice the decoding steps together, monitoring them through teacher observation and understanding that students may know and still need that syllabication. Whole group strategies is when we are, again, in lesson 3 and 4, and we are extending it by not just having them break it down and pull it down into syllabication syllable boards, but also going the extra step and being like, what kind of syllable type is this? So. Classroom scenario. So here are the steps. They are on your handout as well. You have longer than 2 minutes, but it's up to you. Use your expo marker and decode this word right here. You would not read the word out loud. You would not read the word out loud, and they would decode it and try and figure it out on their own. It's a toughie.
So this is like a word I was just talking about
Uh-huh.
for my kids this would be a word I want them to decode.
Yes. And you can also do it whole group for any kiddo.
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
was in our Val team unit 2 weeks ago. In lesson 4.
Is that right?
This stuff's right here. You're doing a great job.
Double copy.
You're totally fine. But that's, yeah. So you'll go the extra step. And extend what kind of syllable types it was. So first you underline your vowels.
Yep.
And then you'll tell me if they're short or long.
Mhm.
And then after that you will pull them down. And then you will go the extra step to identify what kind of syllable type they are.
Well, I don't know what the shun is.
Shun is a vowel team, it goes all together.
The O-N, the T-O-N?
So that I would have them mark VT towards the top. Just like R controlled, if you don't hear that vowel, I would have them mark an R on the top because it's R controlled. Just like schwa, if you don't hear that correct sound, if it's not long or short, I would have them mark schwa.
Is that what this A is in the schwa?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how do you do this one? You said vowel team?
Yes.
So
Oh, that, oh, duh. That's what the VT stands for. I'm like,
Oh,
what's VT? Jeez. Ooh. This is wrong.
I think that's
Oh, I did that wrong.
so we mark with the schwa step.
It's hard.
I know.
Okay, maybe that's right.
Yeah. This is what we're asking them
Well,
to
I
do.
realized as I was doing it, I was like, oh, actually, this Z doesn't go with there because it's capital I. Zay, shun.
Capitalization.
Yeah.
Capitalization? Or capitalization?
Capitalization.
Okay.
Capitalization.
It capitalization. Okay.
That's how I would say it.
Capitalization. Capitalization.
I say capitalization, capital. I don't know. I think it's short.
It's hard
Yeah.
because it really is.
That's my
how you would
Californian. That's my
Yes.
capitalization.
And
See, there you go. There's your accent.
so when it comes to syllabication, it is sometimes fluid depending on how you want
How
to
you wanna do
pronounce it.
Yeah.
So how many syllables are in this one?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. There is 6 syllables. Cool fun facts. My favorite thing to do is the voiced syllables are the only ones that will have a box. If not, they are put together. So if you put your hand underneath your chin by 1 inch, cat,
Cat.
till,
It.
they,
Cat.
shun.
It.
So 6.
Ow.
So that's always fun. So when it hits your hand, those are the only voiced ones. So if you give a kid cake, it's only gonna hit once, and that's an easy way to know, okay, there is either a silent or a vowel team or a syllable that's unvoiced of some kind. So cake hits 1, but there's 2 vowels.
So it's gotta be either vowel team or a VC.
Yeah, so it's another strategy for them to know, is it voiced or unvoiced independently. Okay. All right, practical decoding motivators, because that is something that this curriculum also needs. I use clovers for syllable types for giving them independence. I use holiday themed stuff as well. So one that I used was the monster mouth in a toothbrush. So they would put the syllable, so turtle is what she went and she decoded it, and after she successfully decoded it, she was able to write them on her teeth, and I would say, how many teeth are you supposed to take up? And it's 2 because it's 2 syllables. So I went a step further on that. So that was for Halloween, and then the pumpkin pie and shaving cream, that is just me printing out a pumpkin pie and putting it into a paper, laminate, whatever,
Just like
yeah, paper page,
Page protector, that's what
page
it's really
protector
called.
and put it on paper, and they took the shaving cream and they wrote it in after they successfully decoded words.
Mhm.
Incorporate music in decoding lessons. So every single lesson of 3 and 4, because they are encoding and decoding, I play music of some kind and I pause it and then I whole group teach it and then we move on again. And once that music stops,
I
they
like
know
I need to do
what
that.
to do. So
Okay.
that is helpful. Also, another helpful is that I play Christmas music this time of year. So.
Mhm.
Ooh, it's a good
Utilizing
step in
M&Ms as rewards and incentives. I have never seen much motivated children until you give them a mini M&M because they got it right. And it is like $5 for a bag and there's so many in there. I think it takes like 1 or 2 bags a year for me. So I go around and I'm like, yes, decoded and used all the steps, gave an M&M. For my kiddos, because I am inclusion that are relatively further behind, if they can just split the word, I give them the M&M. So you can use it for scaffolding as well.
Mhm.
Peer modeling and sages. So I use my toad and frog stuffed animals, and for a kiddo that has got it down, mine sits over there if you can't tell, that's got it down, I will come and I will drop off Toad, and then I'll go and drop off Frog, and those kids will go and help other kids in the room. So it's more than just me, because I have a para, but y'all do not. And when it was me just alone for the next 2, and I didn't have you in the morning, then I would be like, okay, who's gonna help? Well, your strong ones that are done in time, you can have them be sages and go around. Or if you would prefer, they could get the Toad and Frog, and one person could go up and show it on the board. So that would be 3 people around your room helping. Similar to math. Explore words with the kids' Webster's Dictionary as well, which is fun.
To be long, right?
So at the end, I tried out it says Z.
Z. Okay, so you found out the end is Z. Underline those vowels. Let's go.
Chimpanzees. Chimpanzees.
Keep going. Z. Keep going.
Chimpanzees.
He's so proud of him.
Yeah,
So good.
chimpanzees.
She got it, man.
Because he was trying and trying. And he was like, nope, nope.
Yes, and so I was trying to get y'all data of, okay, they're using the clovers, they're going the extra step, they're extending it, and he did it. And didn't have to go the extra step after he was able to see that that was a vowel team and it said E. And essentially, that is him using clovers and using the breaking down, word attacking, syllable type, all the syllable types to decode that word in his head. And he was able to decode that for chimpanzees, and he was one of my lowest readers. Middle level, but still lower. And I'm so proud, right?
Love it, yeah.
So that's the goal. And for them to go a step further and just explain their understanding, because a lot of our really great reading doesn't stop and say, okay, we have capitalization. What does capitalization mean? So stopping and saying, hey, you can read it now. What does it mean? Of course, they do with Champ Keats. But
Yes.
any questions or?
Love it.